Hi there, Dr. Sandu here with one of my lovely patients, Marina. And she's asking me some questions which I thought were of value, that it would be worth recording and putting it out there so that you guys get the benefit of this knowledge as well, because it's important for all of us to understand these concepts. So, first question was about oat milk. Now, you came on to oat milk because your children were, or one of them was suffering with some skin problems, some eczema or something?
Yes, but 2 out of the 3 had eczema when they were babies, which has now calmed down.
Okay.
So I didn't give them any dairy, and I haven't done so.
Okay.
Just through doing research on dairy. So looking at alternative milks, oat milk was the one I thought was the healthiest, and I choose the one that's just oats and water. There's no oil.
Yeah.
And I go for organic oats, and I thought that would have been a good choice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's a very good point what you mentioned there, because I'm going to come on to why you shouldn't be drinking oat milk anyway. But you're right, because there is a barista version of oat milk, which they've added oil in,
Yes.
because it just emulsifies it and makes it just sort of stir better in coffee, which is why sort of the Costco and all the other big sort of coffee chains use it, yeah, because the oil in it. And sunflower oil is not a good oil for us as human beings, because it's very high in sort of omega-6, 9s, and it's not good for us. Plus, it's not natural. So it's not an oil we should be using in drinks, and we definitely shouldn't be using it in our cooking. Either. So the oils to cook with are olive oil, avocado oil, ghee, which is the traditional sort of cooking source of fat that has been used by sort of like the Indian population, civilization, for thousands of years. And they had no health issues as far as guts were concerned until sort of they started sort of importing vegetable oil from the West and started cooking with vegetable oils. And now there's more instances of stomach issues, bowel issues, stomach cancers and all of that. And yet all the years that they were making their own ghee at home with their own sort of milk from the cows and using to cook with that, they had less stomach issues and bowel issues. So why should you not be having oat milk anymore? Oat milk became really, really popular as an alternative to dairy because a lot of people are susceptible to some of the protein, some of the fat in dairy, and can have a reaction to it. In fact, a lot of children have been shown to overuse their pancreas when they drink cow's milk. And of course, overuse of pancreas is never a good thing because it means you're overproducing insulin, and that is one of the issues with diabetes. And type 1, type 2 diabetes in children is definitely on the increase. And maybe one of the factors is the use of cow's milk. So oat milk became popular as an alternative. But one of the things that they're realizing with oat milk now is that what is oat milk? Well, oat milk is oats. And oats are a carbohydrate source, so they're a good carbohydrate source. And when you make them into a milk, what you're doing is you're actually making a very soluble carbohydrate. So when you're drinking oat milk, you're actually getting a huge spike of insulin because there's not that much fat in it, right? Unlike cow's milk, which has a good combination for a cow, a calf, of proteins and fats, oat milk doesn't. Yeah. So oat milk is a soluble carbohydrate. So it has very little fat, has very little protein, but it has a lot of carbohydrates in it. So when you then mill it down and make it into sort of a milk, what you're doing is you're making a very easy absorbed source of soluble carbohydrate. An easy absorbed source of carbohydrate is going to create a very quick spike of insulin in your body. Why? Because you've suddenly got all this glucose running around in your blood.
So if you had it in the original oat form, it would be more slow releasing?
If you had sort of like a porridge,
Yes.
or a bowl of oats, you're still going to get the spike of insulin, right? Because of the fact that it's a carbohydrate. And when it breaks down in your body, it becomes glucose. So you're still going to get that spike. But you're right, because you've got the fiber of the actual oats, right, it will be less than the milk source
Okay.
of oats. Yeah. So oat milk is not a good source. So what should you be drinking? Well, ideally, if you can, you should be drinking raw cow's milk, raw goat milk, or raw sheep's milk, because sheep's and goat's milk is better for us in the sense that it's better absorbed, we seem to be more tolerant to it than we do cow's milk. But I also drink raw cow's milk. Right? You can get it. You have to get it to go to specific farm shops, and it's normally sold under the counter, right? Because they can't sell it sort of to the public in large quantities because it's not.
I think they made it illegal, haven't they?
So well,
if it's
yeah,
not
because
pasteurized.
it's not sort of legalized as such. But it is an excellent source, excellent way of getting sort of milk into you if you want milk. Purely because the cow, as long as you're getting the raw milk from a good source, and the cow has been treated well, right? It's fed grass. It hasn't been full of antibiotics and steroids. I mean, obviously, you've got to check all this before you drink the raw milk. But raw milk hasn't been pasteurized, so it hasn't been flash heated to kill everything in it, and then sort of made white because it goes slightly brown, which is what you're actually drinking when you drink sort of the milk in the supermarket in plastic bottles. So yeah, raw milk is actually a better source, and that's what I drink. So in answer to your question, so oat milk, not ideal.
Not ideal.
Not ideal.
What about? I think I know what you're going to say, but sourdough is something that we do eat weekly, and I think that maybe we're probably not supposed to really eat that because of the bread. It's bread, even though it's sourdough.
If you are going to eat bread, and there's no reason why you shouldn't eat bread in small quantities. But ideally, you do want to use sourdough. Now, why sourdough? Well, sourdough because what has been allowed to happen is that the actual sort of dough has been allowed to ferment, right, with the bacteria for a minimum of 24 hours.
Okay.
So you're actually going to get sort of the benefit of the breakdown of the gluten. The gluten is the part of the actual sort of wheat which makes it like that sticky stuff, yeah? And a lot of people can be intolerant to it, yeah? I mean, celiac disease is an extreme example of that. So by breaking the gluten down, you're going to make it easier for you to digest, yeah?
Yes.
And you can buy sourdoughs from what they call the ancient grains or the ancient flours. Now, what I mean by ancient grains, ancient flours, are flowers like amaranth, right?
Spelt.
Amaranth and spelt. Yes. Now, these flowers, they are basically from a type of wheat which was brought over by the Romans, and our ancestors, were able to forage sort of wild and then mill and create dough and bread or other products out of it. The wheat that we get our commercial bread from has been commercially grown. So what they've done is they've taken this wheat, and obviously the farmers want a good crop. So what they do with it is they hybridize it, genetically modify it, and make it into a dwarf wheat, which is highly resistant to disease. But by making it genetically modified, what you're actually doing is you're actually creating a difference in the chemicals that are released when it breaks down. And one of those chemicals, what it does is it sort of it creates more of an insulin spike, a glucose spike, than normal ancient wheat used to. So you're getting more of a hit of insulin. And insulin is something that you really want to try and avoid. It hits off. You want to try and avoid it because it is the very important hormone. It is very powerful, and we need it because it controls the amount of glucose in our blood. But it takes 5 other hormones in your body to get it back under control again. So you only want to use it and have it around when it's necessary. So what that means is that you can't do what has been recommended, where you sort of basically, you eat sort of like a little bit throughout the day. Because every time you eat, you're going to create the insulin. and you don't want those insulin spikes.
Yes.
So you want to sort of hone down your eating pattern to maybe 1 meal a day, 2 meals maximum, and not sort of like, you know, eat multiple times in the day.
It's interesting, even the dentist was saying that as well. He said if you have a packet of Haribo, for example, and you eat that throughout the day, he said it's worse for your teeth and your, you know, your gum health than if you was to just eat the whole packet in one sitting.
Yeah.
And he spoke about this drop in regards to the saliva and exactly what you're saying. And so he said that is what the problem is. And he had a little girl come in, and she was very acidic. Her teeth were sort of basically deteriorating. And the mum said, I give her like 15 satsumas a day. And he said, that's the problem.
15 satsumas a day.
And throughout the day she's given it. He said, if you're going to do that, give it in one sitting.
Yeah. 15 satsumas a day, my God, that's a lot, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your question. Okay, I think we're going to end it there.
Yes.
All right, so hopefully that was useful information for you. And if you have any questions, have any queries, then, you know, just comment down below and I will try and answer them. But also, give us a call. It's Dr. Sandu here from Bedford Chiropractic Clinic. Been a chiropractor for over 25 years, but I'm much more than that, because over those 25 years, I want to help people. I want to help my patients. So I've spent a lot of time learning. And I'm not going to tell you that I know everything, because I don't. Nobody knows everything, but I know a little bit. And I'm very happy to share that little bit of information with you. And if I don't know something, I will find out. So if there are any sort of comments that sort of saying, well, he's wrong or whatever, well, firstly, before you say that, just go out and do some research yourselves as well. And if I'm wrong, then yeah, I'll admit it, and we can have a discussion. But hopefully the information's been useful, and I wish you all the best. Have a great day. If you do have any chiropractic needs, if you're in Bedfordshire community, do give me a call, and I look forward to helping you. Thank you very much. Marina, thank you.
Thank you.